my main motto through my YouTube channel, my content creation journey is to make people, to make students and people in 20s aware of various career opportunities and let them prepare to retire early, I can say, or I can say to achieve financial independence. So please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So in this channel, you will get content on passive income tips, digital marketing, programming, latest technology, personal finance and investments, and many more, which will be useful for you in your career. I just want to ask you people a question. So why do you think planning your career is important? So, okay. So there are two things which differ from an individual who has a perfect plan or perfect vision towards their career and the person who don't have that. So the thing is, so since your childhood days, so I think if you have faced this kind of situation, please comment on yes, I faced this. So your school teachers or your parents, so who are there, they will tell you one thing. So get into engineering or get into MBBS or get into chartered accountant or even get into a government job. Your career will be set. So you will earn a lot and your career will be set. It is something people in your schooling days will tell you. And once you enter your degree or college or engineering, whatever it might be, so then also people will tell you the same. So if you're an engineering student, people will tell you if you get into an IT job, your career will be set. So you don't need to worry about everything. So you will get good earnings and your life will be set. You can buy a house, you can marry, and you can have kids, and your life will be comfortable. It is what something that mostly people will tell you, whether it might be your parents or your teachers, your lecturers, whoever it might be. But consider one thing. So I hope like at least some of you in your family might be doing a software job or might be a doctor or might be a chartered accountant. How many are really enjoying their life? Which means even though if they aged 40 or if they aged 50 or even they aged 60, most of the people who are really successful will not leave their job. They will always work on something, right? So you will, there is no end point for anything. So retirement is something which is a virtual thing. So people will not really get into retirement if you're someone who is really focused on your career. So if you are an IT employee, so even though you're aged 50, you still search for a better opportunity than what you're actually doing. If you're a businessman, you still search for, even if you're aged 40 or 50, you still search for a better opportunity. Or if you want your, or you want your business to grow further, or you want to expand your business. If you're a doctor, you still search for ways to, I mean, improve your earning potential or to start your own hospital. So it is applicable for every individual. There is no end point for any career. Once you start your career, you need to hold on until the end of your life. So it is a reality. And if someone will tell you, get into this, your life will be set, there is no such thing. You need to work every single day. So the other thing is, so why I'm telling this, why I'm telling all this, because if you don't plan your career, your life will also become a boring thing, a static thing. So even though you're professionally successful, even though you're someone who is earning lakhs in your, I mean, lakhs monthly, but still if you have not included a right plan during your college or in your early days of your career, then ultimately you need to stick with what majority are doing. So it is something that I teach people in my YouTube and other channels, that you need to become financially independent by 30s, or I can say mid 30s, so that you will get some time to enjoy your life. That is the main focus, right? So even though it's like getting a job or getting into business, whatever it might be, the main motto is, what's the main motto? To earn a lot, and to earn a lot in such a way that we don't need to work further. It is something that why most of the people get into job or business, whatever it might be. So okay, so how to do that? So if you are in your 20s, then ultimately you need to hustle a lot. So if you want to become financially independent by 30, then ultimately you need to work a lot. You need to, if you are someone who is already working in a job, you also need to build some I can say income sources, extra income sources. You need to hustle a lot. You need to learn everything. So you need to run. So you should be in such, you should be in such a way so that you will get some time to enjoy in your 30s. So but if you are satisfied with your job, the thing that you're currently doing, then ultimately satisfaction leads to smaller dreams. So I will share my screen and show you some insights on what all the different career opportunities that are available once you complete your graduation, or once you're just coming out of your college, or even you started your career. These few slides will be really helpful. Planning your career after college is very much important. So it doesn't matter whatever the field that you're studying, whatever the area that you're studying, still this is very much important to focus on, I can say, career planning. So first of all, why one should plan their career? I already told you, if you fail to plan your career, you will become the other 99% of the people who just go with the majority. So if you want to remain unique, and if you want to become, I can say, successful and financially independent by 30 or mid 30, then ultimately you should plan your career. So planning your career is not like you just need to decide on what age I will do something or not. It is not your planning. Planning is all right, setting your life. So working on realizing, I can say, realizing what decisions will favor you, realizing what decisions will not favor you. So the first thing, so once you're out of the college, the first thing that you need to do is recognizing your unique selling proposition. So people will call it USP. So there is I mean, a funny thing. So once you join, let's suppose you join in computer science stream in your college. So you tell yourself that I can become a software developer by sure because I have joined computer science. And if you try to find different ways, like if you're into marketing or advertising or sales, or you are interested in something, like people who are studying along with you will tell you, you are a computer science guy, why you are diverting into that? Because computer science is something which will pay you a lot of salaries if you get into IT job. Or I can say, if you're from electrical guy and you want to become a software engineer, then people will tell you why you're leaving your core domain. So there is no point in studying electrical or mechanical and jumping into software. So people will tell you different things, but the reality is, at the time that you join college, or I mean, you might be aged 17 or 18 or 19, so you are still, I can say, not a matured guy in terms of your career decision making. So you just go in because you saw some movies there, you see some robots, and you want to become a software engineer in the future. It is what you feel. And if you see a movie again, there people are talking about automobiles, cars, and something. So you feel like, what I mean, what if I become a mechanical engineer? If you see people constructing, and if people portray civil engineering jobs as fancy jobs, then ultimately you choose civil, because the age that you will enter into engineering or any other degree, you will not have the right ideology of what is the right thing for you. So that's the reason you need to recognize, you need to realize what is your unique selling proposition. So what is that one thing that really help you? So if I'm hiring people, so if there are 100 people in your classroom, so if I want to one individual, so what I will look for? So if you are that one, then what you need to do, you need to have that unique selling proposition. So that, I can say, that differentiates you from the rest 99 people. So that is what unique selling proposition is, and you need to realize that what you're actually good at. So you have 4 years or 3 years of time to realize that. So don't just blindly go into, I can say, whatever the stream that you're studying. Don't just blindly fix that you belong to that. No, you will not belong to any stream. There are, I can say, plenty of opportunities. You only know 1% of them. So you need to realize, you need to explore the rest 99% too. Then only you will realize what is something that fits you, what is something that you're actually good at. So it is where your career will actually begin. So but if you, I mean, didn't explore anything, and if you just go on with the head mentality of going with the majority, then ultimately you will miss that unique selling proposition. Every individual is born with some talent, I can say. This is what born talent or whatever it might be. You will also have that. So you, maybe you won't realize, because of taking risk. People don't actually prefer taking risk, because if you're taking risk and all your friends are going with the majority, then ultimately your friends will succeed. You may or may not succeed. That is a fear that you will get in your mind. So that's the reason why not many people take risk, and people, those who, I can say, prefer taking risk, will ultimately succeed. So why you need to plan your career? I already told you, financial independence. To achieve financial independence, one need to plan their career. What actually financial independence? So I'm talking about financial independence multiple times, but what actually it is? So financial independence is something, it is a state in your career where you no longer need to depend on your primary source of income. I can say, like, if you are working and by the age of 40 or 45 you have saved a lot of money that you don't need to work more. So that is the state. that is the state you will become financially independent. So you no longer need to work on your job or business, whatever it might be. You can focus on your interests and passions at that time. So it is a state that we call financial independence. So okay, I mean, let us keep it aside for now. So I will tell you what are the multiple career opportunities that one choose after right after their graduation. The primary thing is job. It is what mostly like 60 to 70% of the people choose. And the other thing is business. Of course, only I can say um, people who like taking risk, they will go into entrepreneurship side and they will become a business owner. And the other thing is small business. So we can also call it a simple, I can say self-employed. So you have a website, you can say you sell some digital products in your website. So it is a small business, but people can do small businesses even during their college time. So this is one way that people choose. And if it is going well, then ultimately they can convert it into a large business. And the other thing, freelancing. So nowadays, since after like this COVID pandemic starts, so many are highly relying on remote working, and startups not no longer interested in hiring full-time employees for everything, because they're not affordable in hiring full-time employees for each and every task. So that's the reason why they are highly relying on freelancing. They're using LinkedIn, Fiverr, Upwork. There are multiple freelancing sites where people are hiring freelancers. That's the reason why freelancing is also a career option nowadays. So people who don't prefer to work for a single company, they will work with multiple companies at the single time and at your flexible time. And the other thing is content creation. So take an example of a lot of YouTubers and a lot of Instagram creators, so whatever it might be. So content creation is also gaining an importance, because people who can speak, people who are dare enough to express their opinions can choose this field. So it is also gaining its prominence nowadays. And full-time investor. So as people are more financially aware of what to invest, how to save money, so this is leading to people choosing investing as a full-time career. But I will not suggest to choose investing as a full-time career, but of course it's people's priority. So how you can actually become financial independence? Here comes the point: by building multiple income streams. So the first thing is you need to build multiple income streams to stay financially independent. That is the only way that you can become financially independent by 30. So I mean, you need to hustle for multiple things. So I take an example. So of me, so initially I worked as a software engineer because I mean, I haven't joined software engineering because I am from CS background. I love it. That's the other thing. And I also started freelancing since my college days. I mean, I'm a content creator by, I mean, since 4 to 5 years. So I love creating content and explaining people what works for them. I always create content based on my experiences. So I also teach courses on Udemy and many other platforms. So because I have laid a foundation, I have laid a plan for myself how to become financially independent by 30. So that's the reason why I started building multiple streams. And it doesn't mean if you started building multiple streams from the day one itself, you will earn a lot of money. So it's not that it is not all about earning money. It involves multiple things. If you know how to build multiple income streams, then ultimately the reliability on a particular thing, your primary source of income, will get reduced. So suddenly if I mean a pandemic like situation occurs and ultimately companies lay off people, employees, so you will have other small income streams so that you can still be comfortable. So you are not losing anything here. And the other thing is, if you lose interest on one particular thing, then ultimately you will have multiple things, so that you will realize, because I already told you, so at the time that we choose our career or our graduation at the ages of 17 or 18, we are not really matured enough to decide what works best for us. And 50% of the people, more than 50% of the people, even after the end of the graduation, they still don't know what works best for them. So that's the reason, if you have multiple income streams based on your interest only, so I'm not forcing anyone to choose multiple areas of income. Like, so if I'm a YouTuber, it doesn't mean you need to be a YouTuber, because you do maybe you don't like speaking in front of public or speaking, that's it. So you can become other things. So if you are a good writer, you can become a blogger too, or you can become a copywriter. So, or if you are a designer, if you know I mean, if you have drawn so much many drawings in your childhood and you realize that it is something which attracts you, can become a designer. So there are various areas in which you can earn income. So I mean, it is what my YouTube channel is all about. So I can say I make videos on different passive income tips, different areas. So I help people to realize how to build multiple income streams. So you need to focus on that. So even though you got a good job, don't just settle for that. Try hustling in your free time, because it is the only time that you can actually do that. Because once responsibilities are into your head, then ultimately it is difficult for you to start building something from scratch. So that's the reason why I suggest people in early 20s to build as many income streams as you can. So whether it might be freelancing plus job, that is important. That is also okay. If you're working for a full-time job and you're also a freelancer, then ultimately if one thing goes wrong, then ultimately you have other platform. And you know what, so the primary source of income is always dangerous, because that is something where you put so much effort into. So whether take a job, so the fate of your job is completely, I can say, it depends on the employer, right? So if they want to cut down employee cost, then ultimately they have the right to lay off people. But what if you're doing some things on your own? So if you're a freelancer, there is no one who can fire you, because you're working in your free time, you're working in your flexible days, flexible skills. So secondary source, or I can say whatever the sources that you build apart from primary source of income, will stay with you, and maybe sometime they will also become your primary source of income if your interest turns into that. So even it is quite apt for me, because I'm a software developer by I can say by profession, but I also love digital marketing. So currently I'm working with a startup where I need to include both my tech skills as well as digital marketing skills to cope up. So that is something which really excites me, and I'm loving it currently. So you don't know what will actually help you in your career to, I can say, to earn money with passion. So it's not like you need to work 13 to 14 hours per day on an area which you actually don't like. So it is something which will not help you in any way, right? Because you're not interested on that, you're putting so much effort into that particular work. You're getting a lot of stress every day, so you're pressurizing yourself on the things that you don't like. So it is not something that will help you in achieving financial independence very quickly. You might say, I can say I can earn up to 50 or 60 and I will retire and I will enjoy after that. There is no such thing. You will not enjoy. You only can earn if you go with the majority. You will not enjoy your life. Or if you achieve financial independence by 30 or 35, the benefit is, if there is something that you wanted to do from your childhood but you cannot because of your financial situation, or you're financial dependent on someone, then you can do that after you become financially independent. So whatever it might be. So like my goal is to become a full-time content creator, but if I leave everything that I'm doing currently, it will not help me, because I need some financial assistance. That's the reason why I'm working for multiple things. But once I achieve this, I can freely concentrate on content creation. So it is the advantage that you will get once you, I mean, started building multiple streams. If you really want to explore more about different passive income ideas or different part-time earning tips, you can find many such videos there in my YouTube channel. Every week I upload at least 3 to 4 videos on these passive income tips and managing multiple things, different career opportunities, career roadmaps, and many things. I wish that it will be really helpful for you. Thanks again.